The Commodore. I haven't heard that in a while.
The big thing here is Bully Prevention Month. A lot of people think Bully Prevention Month came from Hyper. It's actually a company called Pacer.org. Pacer.org does a lot of things for just kids in general. One of their programs they started a couple of decades ago was Bully Prevention Month or Bully Proof Month. It's put it down here on the bottom, pacer.org. The reason I like that page, it's a resource page just for bully prevention. So you can take anything from that page, copy, paste it, share videos. You're not stealing from anyone. It's public domain stuff, and it's meant to be used and shared to help prevent bullying. So even though we're going to do maybe a one-day event, we can do an entire month of educating the community on bullying. I have Bully Proof Month at the top, but for the event, I really like the name Stand Up Against Bullying. I don't want people to think this is a victims class. In other words, you're a victim of bullying, and unless you're a victim of bullying, you can't come. So we want to make sure it's for everyone. Guys, if a kid's big, strong, he's not getting bullied, well, he can still stand up for some other kid who's maybe getting bullied. He may be able to be strong enough to get a teacher involved. So it should be for everyone. For your class, I don't suggest you do anything out of the ordinary, but rather promote it on your very busiest day. So if your busiest day is Wednesday, a Wednesday, maybe the third Wednesday of the month would be a great day to do your Stand Up Against Bullying. So you do it every class. Your students will be there anyway, so since they have that in their schedule, it'd be easy for them to bring in a friend. So between now and then, you're talking about this event. You're talking about the parents. I'm really proud of our school. We have 100 active students. We have 100 kids going out and learning about Stand Up Against Bullying. The only thing would be better is if we had 200. So if every student brought in one friend, we could double our impact. And parents, if you stay around, now we have 300 people. So we have 300 people that are learning this information and could impact the community. So that's the type of talk you want to use to kind of unite your students. I mean, this is your vision as your school owner. You know, we're here, we're teaching martial arts, but we also have an opportunity to change the community by standing up against bullying. So I would promote it through the entire month by doing end-of-class talks. On this pacer.org, they have a section called Ask Carmen. Well, Carmen is like the person they write into, and kids just share questions. So they said, what's the difference between, why should I tattle on anyone? So Carmen goes, there's a difference between tattling and telling. And so she talks about that difference. Well, that'd be a good way for you to end up one of your classes. So anything you can do towards your end of your classes to talk about bullying gives you an opportunity to talk about your event. You do the same thing on Facebook. On this page, she has a whole section of videos that are anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes long. The woman talking is very knowledgeable. She's soft-spoken. She seems like she really knows what she's talking about, and she'll just take one aspect about bullying. It could be name-calling and give kids tips on to become immune to be calling different names, how it doesn't make any difference. So anything that you can do to constantly be in people's faces, that sounds like you're bullying them, but as long as you can be out there talking about this, it's going to promote your event. Now, if you get 50 to 75 kids coming in, make sure that you have a way to transfer them in for someone who's just learning about bullying to have more classes concerned about bullying. This is where sometimes we lose people. They come in for bully prevention, and they go, hey, this is really, really cool, and then we try to set them up for a regular karate class. They come in their next class, and they're doing basics, push-ups, and a form. Well, I thought I was going to be learning about bullying. So if you're going to have, like, following your bully proof class, and you're going to have them take 2 weeks of classes or 2 lessons, those lessons should be continually talking about bullying. So don't change from one gear to a totally next gear. Transfer it slowly so you get out of bullying and then into your regular martial arts. But again, this is a huge one. Everyone in the community talks about bullying. You're going to see stuff on TV stations and news stations. So it's going to be all consistent with what you're promoting through your school. Next thing is anything to do with Halloween. Halloween, we have a few opportunities. One, you can just have a Halloween party at your school. It shouldn't be on Halloween because kids already plan on doing stuff on Halloween, but doing something the weekend before Halloween, this would be a buddy bash. So this is what we're again doing, some type of event. Some school owners kind of tie this into maybe a trunk or treat where people come in, they decorate the back of their cars, all your students come in, they get to go trick-or-treating from car to car. After that, they go into the martial arts school, maybe have some games, they show off their Halloween costumes, things like that. But with the bashes, all your students are inviting their entire class. So they're not inviting one or two friends, but they're going out and they're giving these cards to everyone in their classes. Parents are also taking the kick-or-treat cards and handing those out with candy on Halloween. So there's two different kinds of cards. One is a kick-or-treat. The other one is a buddy bash. Buddy bash is to promote your buddy bash event. The kick-or-treat is for you to place out in businesses instead of rack cards for a month. They're there for if you have a town and you have pumpkin patches and people selling pumpkins, ask them, say you're going to be shopping for some pumpkins. Can we do a deal here? I'm going to tell all my students they can come here to shop for the pumpkins. At the same time, anytime someone buys a pumpkin, can give them one of our cards. In your area, you're going to have shops pop up just for Halloween, renting costumes and things like that. Same thing, say we're going to recommend our kids come here for the costumes. In return, would you hand out these cards to everyone that comes in and makes a purchase? This is just a picture I had from last year. And because it's the end of the third quarter, we're getting into our last quarter of the year. In addition to our marketing, there's things that you want to do. Goals for October, I would raise a new student bar. I know Dalton did really good in students, but he's also got momentum going. So he's got momentum going from September. There's going to some people that he worked in September are going to sign up for October. October, we have those two events I just talked about. So raise your new student bar. If your goal is usually to get 15 new students, raise it up to 20 or 25. This month is where we really want to push it. We also have 31 days. The way it's laid out, we got full 5 weeks. We have a bonus week at the end. Bonus week on the end is really cool because if you do 4 weeks between your stripe testing, the very last week of October, you don't have any stripe testing or anything planned. You don't even have to start your new curriculum for the cycle because you have a week before November. So it's a great week to do as a bonus week. You can just do it as a buddy week. In the past, in October, we've done a buddy week. If your buddy comes 2 days during the last week of October, that last Friday in October, we do a graduation and we do a white belt only graduation. So all the kids who took 2 classes get their white belt. It's a great opportunity to invite the parents in. A lot of times when we're doing guest week, of course, the guests come in, the parents never come in. So your buddy's got to come twice. If your buddy comes twice, he's going to earn his white belt. And he's going to participate in graduation. During that graduation, you can put your demo team, things like out there. It's a really, really good way to end the month strong. Because on that day, which is, I think, well, it could be November 2nd or 3rd, but it's still a way to start the following month strong and end November really strong. This is just nothing to do with marketing, but third quarter finances. It's a good time of the year for you to bring all your finances to your accountant. Say, this is what I did in the first 3 quarters of the year. Is there anything special I should be doing in the last quarter to reduce my tax liability for 2019? He may say, you know, you've got a really good year going. You're way ahead of last year's. You may want to slow up on your paid in fulls. You may want to wait to January to do paid in fulls, because if you're taking them now, you're going to be paying your taxes on them come April. So he's going to give you some ideas, but it's a real good time of year to kind of pre-do your taxes, just so your accountant can give you some ideas on tax saving for when you pay in this coming April. Another thing for October is pink. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Last week on the football game, I already saw a couple players wearing pink. This is where everyone wears pink, just as a reminder, awareness for breast cancer awareness. So if you did a fundraiser last year where kids bought pink belts and they got to wear them during the month of October, and you sent that money to a charity, well, it's a good time for them to wear their pink belts again. Or you can start buying wristbands. They have wristbands on Amazon, things like that, really, really expensive. And you can sell those. People buy those. They get maybe a free class, and all the money goes to breast cancer research. So do something for pink. You say, well, I'm not going to get a lot of students out of it. Yeah, you may not, but it's a great way, it's a great opportunity to show your community that you're all about giving back. It's not just about teaching karate, but we're giving back, we're making a better community. We're already working on bully proofing, and we're putting out something for breast cancer awareness. Schools in the South and the West. This month, a lot of you have a week or weekend that's extended for fall break. So you have an opportunity, it could be just Columbus Day, or it could be a week, to do a day camp. I was talking to Johnny Karate up in New York. He was getting $75 a day for his day camps, which I thought that was great. It's kind of cool. In the past, we've done with Columbus Day, since it's all about discovery, we do a class and we do like 5 different sections. We do a little Kung Fu, we do a little Taekwondo, we do a little Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit boxing, whatever your 5th one's going to be. So they're doing a little bit of martial arts from all around the world. Makes it for a fun day, a good theme day, kind of tie in Columbus and all about discovering. We've even had in the past where you get like a small passport that you can make up, and then you can stamp them for taking martial arts from these different countries. We talked about the pumpkin stands. Pumpkin tournament is just something I've done forever. We do an inter-school tournament just for fun in October. Kids can bring friends. Instead of trophies, we give pumpkins. Pumpkins then the kids could do right after the tournament. They can do a pumpkin carving contest. You can have a pizza party. Again, think about your school being the lighthouse. I was just talking to Charlie Jarnigan, like I said before. He was saying, my referrals seem to just come automatically. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. When your school is remarkable, it's because people are remarking about your school because you're always doing something else. So when people start talking about your martial arts school, go, man, they're doing something for Columbus Day. They did a pumpkin tournament. They're doing bully prevention. I mean, the school's doing something for everyone. Well, when you get people talking like that, that's how you get your referrals. Your pumpkin tournament is just a cute tournament for kids. You can do it for free. Buy the pumpkins at the pumpkin patch that you want to give out cards. And the kids go and maybe you do a regular tournament. Maybe you just do something for breaking. Maybe you do what we call a jump kick combination, where they have to do 5 punch combinations and a jump kick. Whatever you want to do for your competition. But instead of trophies, they get pumpkins. Stand out up against bullying, we talked about that. Oh, this trunk or treat. If you decide that you don't want to do a trunk or treat because of your parking lot, or you just can't control it, check out churches in your town, because a lot of churches do trunk or treats. And they do this for a couple reasons. They want the kids to stay safe, and they want a lot of people to be near their church. We did one last year in West Palm Beach. They gave us the candy, so we didn't have to buy our own candy. They gave us the candy. We had 1,000 kids come to our trunk or treat. So my wife doesn't want to do one this year, but I talked to a guy who's got a martial arts school in town. I go, I'm going to just put my truck there, bring some Century bags, put the Century bags out there, bring like 5 or 6 kids to help hand out the candy, have your students start kicking the pads. You can get 1,000 kids. Everyone's going to get your card, get to see your name. So trunk or treats are really easy to do. They're usually on a weekend night for 2 hours, but it's a great way to do a promotional booth that doesn't cost you anything. And again, I guarantee there's a few churches in your town or maybe other businesses that already have this plan for you. So that's my ideas for this month. Do we need any more details, or you guys want to comment on this or give some testimony of doing this in the past?
We are doing a couple of church events, so I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
We're going to be hooking that up.
I couldn't believe when we did it last year, because I never been to a trunk or treat, didn't know what it was all about. But there's some people that go all out. They'll have like beanbag tosses behind their cars. They have little things for kids to play. At our church, I imagine they had probably 50 cars, and kids were there for 2 hours. They also had food trucks, so parents stayed. So it's just a really good opportunity. And my idea with my buddy is, now if his kids are just out there in uniforms kicking heads, he doesn't really have to do anything. People can come over and go, hey, where's this martial arts school? No, we're only 2 blocks away from here. So he just really has to be there. I can see Dave already. Dave, every time he does a promotional booth, he does a live broadcast. So for some reason, I always get his feed. I go, there's about again looking at hard. Okay, everyone, thanks. All these cards are from Get Students. That's my son and daughter's business. They have both these cards, the Buddy Bash cards. They have cards like this with safety tips on the back. If you're going to do something like the pumpkin patch, I would do a card like this. On the back of the card has safety tips. Even if you're going to businesses and you just say, hey, we're a martial arts school in town. We keep kids safe. We have these cards that have safety tips for kids. Could you help us keep the community kids safe by putting these out on your counter or handing them out to your customers? There's very few businesses that are going to say, nah, we want the kids to have a dangerous Halloween. So everyone's going to be helping you. So one kid is the one with the safety tips on the back. All right, guys, great talking to you. Tomorrow it's William and I. Totally forgot what he's going to talk about tomorrow, but as you know, he always does a nice job. People always get a lot of information on those Wednesday meetings. So see you then.
All right, thanks.
Congratulations, Dalton, on the contest win.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.